Yesterday, Saraji explained that by practicing Satipatthana meditation, noting the object with sustained mindfulness, one is fulfilling Sila, Samadhi and Panya, morality, concentration and wisdom training. And the path to Nibbana opens up and one reaches the state of purity and nobleness. Samma Dukkhakhayagami, one reaches the cessation of suffering moment by moment through the practice of Satipatthana. By the practice of Satipatthana, one can remove gross, medium and refined form of defilements, which are the cause of suffering. So Kilesavata, round of defilements, are removed through the practice of Satipatthana. One also gains the quality of Ariya. Ariya means pure and noble. And one also gains the quality of Samma Dukkhakhayagami, reaching the cessation of suffering in a systematic way. So the path leading to Nibbana becomes straight and smooth, and one becomes high and noble. Without this path, there will be harm and danger. If one does not practice Sila Sikha, morality training, there will be transgression, and committing transgression, wrongdoing, the person will not be a true human. As the person commits wrongdoings, the person is also hurting, harming others physically and mentally, so that others will also suffer. Committing wrongdoings, the person loses his or her own benefit as well as hurting and harming others' benefits. So just as when one earns a good living, there will be happiness and peace. So if one loses one's earnings, then there will not be happiness and peace. So if the person loses the Sila Sikha, morality training, then his or her verbal behavior, his or her bodily behavior and verbal behavior will be blameworthy, impure, and it will be rude and gross, and it will be disgusting. It will be also burning. So one should practice the Sila training, morality training, which is the true benefit, and one becomes purified. And it is called Ekantahitavaha, meaning the practice of Sila can really lead to pure benefit. So, by the practice of Sila, one gains one's true benefit. Sila, morality, is one's own benefit. Keeping one's bodily behavior and verbal behavior pure, clean, gentle, cultured, and lovable. Fulfilling Viriya, Sati and Samadhi, effort, mindfulness and concentration, the obsessive defilement has no chance to arise, and then the mind will be pure and clean. So by having Viriya, Sati and Samadhi, effort, mindfulness and concentration, one gains the benefit of purifying the mind, and the mind becomes peaceful, lovable. developing knowledge, discerning the truth, then one will remove wrong view of person or being. Not discerning correctly, there can be wrong view of person, being, Jiva Atta, the living soul, the creator, and one thinks that things are permanent, good and self, and they think that things are happening according to their wishes. Discerning correctly, developing knowledge, one fulfills Panya Sikha, wisdom training, and one removes the wrong view. Discerning the truth, one builds up more saddha, more faith and confidence, and also the person builds up more courage. The person becomes more courageous in refraining from things that should be refrained from. So in order to note the object without missing, without failing, one has to assert effort in the practice. And as one asserts effort in the practice, the mental power, the mental strength, sati, samadhi and panya, mindfulness, concentration and wisdom become strengthened, and they become strong, effective, and there will be teja, they will become very effective. So one is doing one's own benefit by the practice of sila, samadhi and panya. One becomes purified, high and noble, and it is the true benefit. So practicing Satipatthana meditation is uplifting one's own life so that one's life becomes peaceful. And by the practice of Satipatthana, the path to Nibbana will become straight and smooth. Knowing the benefit of controlling oneself, one will not know the value of the practice. Not cherishing, not valuing the restraint, one will let one's mind go freely, and one will keep oneself go freely on wrongdoing and transgression without any control. One will also let one go freely on sensual pleasure without any moderacy. The example is given here. If the person takes unsuitable food, or take impure water, or inhale impure air, then the materiality in the body will be unhealthy. When the materiality in the body becomes unhealthy due to the harmful food, impure water, and impure air, then the person also loses his or her health. The person becomes weak and sick. In the same way, when there are unwholesome body, speech, and mind, then his or her bodily behavior, verbal behavior, and mental behavior will also be unhealthy. Committing wrongdoings by body and speech are compared to eating poisonous food. Just as poisonous food should be avoided, in the same way, one should prevent oneself from committing wrongdoing, and one should refrain oneself from committing wrongdoing, and one should cure right away as soon as these unwholesome things arise. So just as one has to avoid poisonous food, unsuitable food, in the same way, one has to prevent oneself from unwholesome body, speech, and mind. So one should practice Satipatthana meditation so as to avoid unwholesome bodily behavior, verbal and mental behavior. Through the practice of Satipatthana, one develops Saddha, faith and confidence, Viriya, effort, Sati, mindfulness, Samadhi, concentration, Panya, wisdom, and also Hiri and Ottappa, moral shame and moral fear from wrongdoing. Fresh water, fresh air, nutritious food are conducive to the person's health, and they make the person strong. And people have to take nutritious food, pure water, fresh air, as well as the especially formulated vitamins and minerals, which are effective. So selecting nutritious food as well as taking the supplements of vitamins and minerals, then the person will become healthy and strong. So in the same way, one has to take the three medications, Sila, Samadhi, and Panya, morality, concentration, and wisdom, which have full of spiritual vitamins, spiritual nutriment, so that the person's mind will become healthy. Everyone has the body, and one should feed the body. So in eating, one should not take any kind of food. One should not only take the food the person likes, but one has to eat suitable food. One has to drink pure water, one has to inhale fresh air, so that these will support the health. One should also take nutritious food that are full of vitamins and minerals. So these nutritious food, which are rich in vitamins and minerals, will generate new materiality in the body. The nutriment from suitable food will keep the materiality healthy, and the person will also gain health, and the blood circulation in the body will be good, and the person's health will improve more and more. But if the person only chooses to eat what she likes only, and if the person is taking food that are unsuitable, then there can be illnesses, obesity, and the person loses health, and it can even be fatal. Even if the health goes bad, even if the person does not die, but it can lead to serious health problems. If the person indulges in sensual pleasure, then such kind of sensual pleasure are dangerous and fatal. If the person eats unsuitable food, harmful food, as well as the harmful medicine, either accidentally or deliberately, it generates unhealthy materiality in the body, and the blood will be impure, and it leads to illnesses. And some of them may have experienced such kind of problems. So it is very obvious. The person has to take suitable food, nutritious food. The person has to inhale fresh air. And when eating, the person must not only choose what she likes, but the person should only select suitable food in order to keep oneself healthy, strong, and to live long. So just in the example of keeping one's body healthy, fresh, and strong, by taking nutritious food, pure water, and fresh air, in the same way, the person should realize that there are vitamins and minerals that are necessary for the mind. So one should also understand the importance of spiritual nutriment and spiritual vitamins. It is the nature of people that they like things that are not suitable for them. And usually people eat things that are unsuitable. People consume things that are unsuitable to them. And they suffer. So one should choose suitable food. One should also choose suitable food, suitable medication, in order to keep themselves healthy physically. And also for the mind as well, if the person leaves his or her mind to unsuitable things, then the mind also becomes unhealthy. In order to keep the mind healthy, there should be samadhi sikha, concentration training. One should be noting the presently arising object. As soon as the object arises, with effort. One should not be lazy or sluggish in the practice. Just as one has to avoid unsuitable food. So one should always be alert, active in noting the object, so that Dhammoja, the Dhamma nutriments, will arise. There will be sustained mindfulness. Having mindfulness, the sati mindfulness protects the mind away from the unsuitable things. And having viriya, effort does not accept unwholesome, polluted things from arising. And the mind becomes calm, collected, unified, and thus the Dhammoja, the Dhamma nutriments, arise moment by moment, second by second. In order to fulfill Dhammoja, the Dhamma nutriments, one should note the presently arising object with aim and effort. One should aim the noting mind onto the object so that the mind will not slip away from the object. If the mind is aimed onto the object, the mind being directed onto the object, there will not be wrongful thoughts, there will not be greed to see good things, to hear good sounds and so on, and there will not be anger, hatred, aversion to destroy others. So when the mind is aimed and directed onto the object, the unwholesomeness has no chance to arise. The naughty mind will be direct or face to face with the object, and the mind becomes stronger and stronger. As the person develops knowledge, the mind becomes even stronger and stronger, and Dhammoja, the Dhamma nutriment, will enter. Taking suitable food, medication, as well as the fresh air, fresh water, then the materiality in the body will proliferate and become healthy. So the person realizes the importance of suitable food, nutritious food, vitamins, minerals, as well as fresh air and water. And one values these nutriments. And the person also wants to continue consuming such nutritious food, water and air. And one will maintain oneself from consuming suitable food, medicine, air and water. And the person will also have the shame and fear from pursuing what she likes that are harmful to oneself. And the person will choose only suitable food, medicine, and so on. So in the same way, one should choose only the wholesome things for the mind. In order to keep the mind pure, in order to develop knowledge, one has to practice Satipatthana meditation so that one will become pure, clean, tame, cultured, and lovable, and one will understand the benefits of Satipatthana practice. And one will also have the faith and confidence that the practice is the correct way. And the person builds up moral shame and moral fear from wrongdoing as well as unwholesome mind. So such moral shame and moral fear also become strengthened. And his or her practice becomes even more effective, and the person will exert more effort in the practice that Sati, Samadhi and Panya, mindfulness, concentration and wisdom will also be strengthened. And at this stage, the person has progressed his or her practice, and Sada, faith and confidence, become amazingly strong. Knowing the benefits, the person cherishes and values the practice, and the person takes more care so that the value of his or her practice will not deteriorate. The person also has moral shame and moral fear from missing or failing to note, and the person takes care to note every arising object without missing, without failing, and he or she builds up more concentration the mind becomes calm, collected, unified on the object. If there is lack of concentration, the defilements enter. Not having moral shame and moral fear, the person do things unmindfully. The person sits down, stands up, bends, stretches unmindfully. Yogi should take care to note even the minute details of the general activity, so that even the small details, so that the defilements cannot arise. So yogis should have moral shame and moral fear from the entering of the defilement. Having moral shame and moral fear from the defilement, the person's mindfulness becomes more continuous, and the concentration becomes stronger and stronger, and yogi can note even the minute details, and his or her mental strength become more and more strong. And also, yogi also values and cherishes his or her practice and pursues the practice respectfully, meticulously, thoroughly, that his or her practice progresses amazingly. And if the person does not have moral shame and moral fear, then the person misses or fails to note the object, doing things unmindfully. If the person does not have moral shame and moral fear of lack of mindfulness, then the person will slip or fall from the vehicle that is going towards Nibbana. Lacking moral shame and moral fear, the person will keep on falling from the vehicle going to Nibbana. So in order to reach a peaceful place, one should ride on a vehicle. And it is important that the vehicle that the person is riding on should have a strong backrest to lean on. Hiri and Ottappa, moral shame and moral fear, are compared to the backrest of the vehicle. Having Hiri and Ottappa backrest of this vehicle, getting to the vehicle driving towards the Nibbana, the person will not fall from the vehicle, having Hiri and Ottappa. And having the Hiri Ottappa backrest on the vehicle driving towards Nibbana, the person can reach the destination in a very short time. And may you all be able to practice this way, having Hiri and Ottappa as the backrest of the vehicle driving towards Nibbana. This will be all for today. Sadhu, sadhu.